Hey, Cavs fans. Welcome to another episode of the Cavs Pick and Roll podcast. I'm Alex, and I'm here with Corey. What's going on, Corey?
Well, Alex, I got to ask, how you doing on your Christmas shopping? Because I've barely started, and I just realized that, like, kids are off school here soon. I only have, like, a couple days left for the rest of the year work-wise, and I just realized how much crap I got to do here in the next 2 weeks. How about you?
Yeah, Christmas shopping. Still got a little bit to do, but mostly done. Got all the Christmas lights hung outside, so that's pretty cool. Got the
Yeah,
Christmas
same
tree
here.
up.
Same here.
You got anything on your wish list that's Cavs related?
You know what? I don't even have to ask for it anymore. I think I talked about this last year too. My family just knows. I'm always good for a couple Cavs shirts, socks, whatever, whatever they find. I know I'll always get something, so I don't even have to ask anymore, to be honest with you. But what about you? You're like any jerseys or anything, any Cavs memorabilia that you're after?
Nothing planned like you. I'm sure I'll probably end up with something, but no, there's nothing I'm on the lookout for.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's cool. Well, the Cavs right now, Alex, are battling Boston. This game is kind of wrapping up. About 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Second night of a back to back. Rough having to go to Boston on the second night of a back to back. But it's been a battle, and man, it has like a. I was just telling you before we started recording. This one has like a playoff atmosphere. And I'm just shocked at the amount of 3-pointers that have been jacked up in this game. Let me take a look at the latest here. Both teams have jacked up 41 3-pointers. I don't think I've ever seen the Cavs shoot this many before.
Wow.
And they've hit 18 of them. So Boston's hit 16 of them. So it's been a firefight for sure.
What about yeah, I'm watching it on a major delay.
Well, here, this is what I'll say. The Cavs did something I wasn't expecting them to do in this game. Got to remember, second night back-to-back, Boston's a pretty good team, right? They jumped out on them early. They came out with energy. They were just clicking. They got up big, 31-17 at one point, and they were rolling. I was like, all right, here we go. But it's a
22-8.
Yeah, you're watching it right now from the beginning.
Towards the end of the first. It's good to see Karis LeVert back in the lineup, that's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. But the problem with that, Alex, is an NBA basketball game is pretty long. So to go up that early in the game, just about any team's going to make some sort of run at some point in the game. And the Cavs kind of let them back in the second quarter. And it's been a ball game ever since then. And in my opinion, who's really hurt us the most so far tonight on Boston is Derek White. Derek White is kind of their energy guy. Marcus Smart isn't there anymore. They don't play Lamar Stevens. He would be a good energy guy. But Derek White, man, at one point in the second quarter, he had 3 triples in a row, got fouled, made free throws, stole the ball from Jared Allen after he grabbed a rebound. Like, he's just been all over the place tonight. And if Boston wins this game, I'm going to say he's been the difference maker for sure.
Got to put a Coro on him.
Yeah.
Lock him down.
Yeah. I will say this, though. The Cavs are balling tonight. I mean, Donovan Mitchell's having a great night, great shooting night. Garland, is doing great too. 23 points currently. Mitchell's up to 29. And like I said, the Cavs are just jacking up 3-pointers like there's no tomorrow. Strus has 17. Strus has hit a couple of bombs, just absolute bombs. He has no hesitation. Coming off a pick, jacking it up Reggie Miller style, and hitting multiple of them this game. So it's been nice to at least see the Cavs hanging. I was fearful that they were going to get blown out of the gym tonight, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, Strus is deadly. He can hit it from anywhere.
Yeah, he's tough. Isn't on every night, but he's been on more nights than what he hasn't been on. And that's what I like about him. And just again, gosh, ever since we started this podcast, we haven't had a small forward. It's like, who's it this week? Who's it next week? You know what I mean? And I'm not saying Strus is the guy for the next 5 years, but man, he hasn't done anything to lose his job. Sure, he's had a couple, off games. Everybody does. But like I said, he's had more on games than off games so far this season. Just he's been a great pickup,
Yeah, so far a great addition.
great addition. And unfortunately, what seems to be a little bit of a theme so far lately is the third quarter slumps are starting to come back. And what's nice about this Boston game is they totally didn't let that happen. Let's see, how many did they score in the third quarter? 32 points in the third quarter. Okay, that's what you want. That's respectable, right? Boston put up 35, but the Cavs have had a couple games here recently, where they've had pretty poor third quarters after the half, and it's really hurt them. So the Cavs are now down here a little bit, 113 to 106. So the game's starting to slip away. But again, to be honest with you, I thought this game was going to, slip from them much earlier on. Boston's just rolling, and I heard that they haven't even lost a home game yet this year.
Wow.
Yeah. So it would have been nice to knock them off tonight, especially since they have them coming up here on Thursday as well. Just kind of a brutal stretch here for the Cavs schedule wise.
Yeah, that's kind of like the Cavs last season. The Cavs last season were really dominant at home, and this season they really haven't been.
No,
Definitely
they
starting
haven't.
out a lot more slowly this season.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because last year they were so great at home. I'll never forget the one year. I don't remember. It might have been the championship year. I could be wrong, or maybe it was 2015. It was one of the years we went to the finals, and the Cavs had won every home game except for two. And really, it was because they mailed it in. The last game of the year, you've been to them, Alex, is fan appreciation night, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
None of the starters played, so they mailed that one in, and they lost like another random game to like the Charlotte Hornets or something like that. I think they were resting players then too, but that was a really fun season for Cavs fans because we just dominated at home, and that unfortunately really hasn't been the case so far this year. So another thing too that's kind of happening here is you said earlier that we got Levert back tonight, which is nice. He's played 19 minutes, put up 11 points, out there running around doing what he does. But we've been missing Evan Mobley here for this is the third straight game, Alex. I've read that he has left knee soreness. So it doesn't sound, serious, but man, he sure would have been helpful, during this stretch. And hopefully he's going to be back here sooner than later. I really haven't heard a timetable yet, though.
Yeah, I was hoping he would be back. He would have been really helpful to have against. They got Porzingis out there who's
Yeah.
lengthy like him. So yeah, definitely creating some mismatches on us that we can't handle, and we're plugging Tristan Thompson in and seeing what he can do. Who's been playing really well lately, surprisingly.
He's been playing good. He's been playing aggressive. Right before we started recording, I think it might have been with Derek White, if I'm not mistaken, but or maybe it was Jason or Jaylen Brown. I don't know. Jason Tatum, maybe one of those guys. But anyways, um, Boston grabbed a rebound, but Tristan kind of grabbed it at the same time, and he was just tearing at it, got the jump ball, and he's just been bringing good energy here, at least lately. And we've talked about him a couple times now. Remember what he was brought in to be, basically like your fourth big, right?
Mm-hmm.
Expectations were low, I think, for everybody. It was just kind of a nice story that he was back, right? I'll just say this: he's having a better second tour than Danny Green did last year.
Yeah.
We'll just put it that way, right? Right? Like he's
Yeah.
having a better second tour so far than some more recent players have, and hopefully he stays healthy and he should be a nice player come playoff time too, because we know his experience and he knows what it takes during playoff basketball time.
Yeah, I was just expecting him to come in and be like another big perk, just kind of sit on the bench and
Sure.
motivate the guys. Yeah, Perkins.
Nah, he's playing,
But
man. I like
yeah,
it.
he's
I like
uh
it.
he's playing solid minutes for us.
He
He's
might he might earn himself a re-signing in the offseason. You got to remember, he's not LeBron old. He's still on the other side of 35 yet. You know what I mean? The lower side. So he's got a couple more years of basketball in him. And I don't know. I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be surprised if he re-signed in the offseason, but that's a long ways away. And but yeah, he's been doing pretty good and providing productivity off the bench, which is all we can ask for at this
yeah,
point.
he's 32 years old. I think we looked that up last
Probably
episode
last
too,
time.
but
Yeah, 32,
yeah.
man. He still looks 22 though. I talked about that. Like that dude doesn't age. You know, he still looks like a kid out there. It's just crazy. But yeah, he has some more basketball in him yet. So this game's kind of wrapping up. There's less than 3 minutes left. The Cavs are down 7, so they're gonna have to get a couple stops here in a row. And Derek White just hit another three, so that's the game. And just like I said, Derek White just killed us this game. Let's see what he's
Nail
up
in the
to.
coffin.
Derek White with 21 points right now. Al Horford only with 2 points. Al Horford is usually the guy that sticks it to us, but Derek White having himself a night. Porzingis 19, Tatum 25. Yeah, so no minutes for Lamar Stevens though. And you had talked about how you saw a picture before the game of Darius and Lamar Stevens. I think the Cavs Twitter page posted that, all their social media stuff.
Right.
I wonder how Lamar's doing down there.
I
Or
don't
up
know.
there.
Yeah, I kind of wonder how he's doing too. I miss him.
Yeah, I do too. He didn't play in this game, and he most likely isn't in their rotation, and it's just too bad. I kind of wish that he didn't get waived by the Spurs, because the Spurs aren't that great of a team, right? They got the number 1 overall pick. You got Chetty running around out there. I felt like he would have been a good guy. Like he would have been a good Popovich guy. Like I
Yeah.
felt like he could have had a spot in the rotation. Not a starter, not even the first man off the bench, but man, he could have played top 8 for the Spurs this year. I mean,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
whatever.
Totally. And yeah, like you said, I could see him being a Popovich guy. He's kind of got that.
He's got that dog.
Yeah.
He's got that grit. He's got
Yeah.
that Steven Jackson in him. Although Steven Jackson was a better player, but man, just kind of that dog, that energy guy. And yeah, it's just too bad that Lamar's just kind of sitting on a bench right now.
Yeah.
But
You're right. He's not even in their rotation. I'm looking at his game history. 1 minute, 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
yeah,
It looks like he only gets put in for garbage time.
yeah. I mean, and Boston. I mean, they've been a very quality team for years now. It feels like they're number 1 in the standings year over year now for the last 3, maybe 4 years. And they haven't been able to win it all yet. But man, the addition of Porzingis, Drew Holiday, I don't know. This could be their year. We'll see. And I was really hoping the Cavs, if they were going to get one of these, I was hoping they were going to get it tonight. But they'll have another shot at them in Boston. Both these games are in Boston too, by the way. Thursday night. Not going to be an easy one, Alex.
Yeah, they should have had one of them be a home game.
Yeah. Pretty sure I read they're both in Boston. So that's just tough schedule wise. So this game's wrapping up. It's about done. So let's go back a little bit, Alex. I don't want to go too far back, but I'd like to cover, kind of the most recent games. And the real reason why I'm kind of upset that they're not going to pull off this win tonight is because the night before this, when they played Orlando, that was just a stinker of a game. They ended up
Yeah, it
losing
really
that game by
was.
10. And man, it's disappointing because the Cavs were up early in that game, and they were up 3 at halftime. And then the third quarter happened. They put up 15 points in the entire third quarter. That's just not going to get it done in the NBA. I don't care. I don't care who you're playing. The worst team in the league. You just can't allow that to happen.
Yeah, the Cavs led the whole game, and then fourth quarter, they just got outplayed at the end, the last few minutes, and then they were trying to come back, and they just couldn't get anything going. They just kept shooting threes and missing, and just could not rally at the end to get
Yeah,
back
yeah.
in the game.
They had an opportunity, even though they had such a dreadful third quarter, and that's the sad part about it. Because if they would have just somehow found a way to keep their foot on the pedal through that third quarter, man, it feels like a very winnable game, and it's just too bad. And Orlando has had the better of us, this year. I think this was the 4th time we played Orlando already. Um, and we only won one of them, which was a couple games back. So it would have been cool to win this one too, to at least go 2-2. But Orlando, man, a young team, and they've been playing very well this year. The Cavs, though, they had some players that just did not play well. I'm just going to say Jared Allen probably had one of his worst games as a Cavalier. He had more fouls than he had points, Alex. He fouled out
Mm-hmm.
of the game, finished with 4 points, played only 15 minutes. Strus had an off game, only gave you 6 points in 26 minutes. Isaac Okoro, 26 minutes, 1 point. Niang, 22 minutes, 0 points. So obviously the Cavs did not have a good offensive night this night. Darius Garland went off with 36, though, and Mitchell with 22. But just wasn't enough. That third quarter just ended it for him this game.
Yeah, I mean, I've expressed my frustration with Niang before, and he went 0 for 10 this game.
Yeah.
Come on, I don't know what
I
to say.
I'm like a seesaw with him. He's a very vocal player. He seems like passion out there when he plays, which I'd like that, right? The problem is that you want like Donovan Mitchell to be that. You want Evan Mobley to be that. You want like your star players to be that, right? And all of our star players are pretty even keeled in my opinion. Like, nobody gets too over the top or anything like that. And Niang has some moments or some games, I'll say, where he contributes and he looks good. He has some moments throughout the game that help the Cavs out. But then he does games like this too. And it's just like, I'm like a seesaw right now. Like some games I'm like, all right, cool. And other games I'm like, oh God, take him out of the rotation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know, but yeah, just, I mean, a lot of Cavs players had an off night. We didn't have LeVert for this game. We didn't have Mobley. Sam Merrill somehow got 17 minutes. I mean, where was Craig Porter Jr. this game? Was one of my beefs with this game, especially when they were struggling. But the Cavs dropped this game to the Magic, Alex, out in Orlando.
Yeah, kind of kills me. Also, I mean, you mentioned that Allen had an off night, and of course Mobley didn't play because he's hurt. Why not put Jones in? Like, how come Jones didn't get any minutes? Like, would have been perfect time to give the young guy some run.
Yeah, I think the confidence isn't, I guess, there in Jones. And this is one of the games that Tristan played excellent, by the way. 29 minutes, double, 10 points, 13 rebounds. I mean, that's like vintage Tristan Thompson right there, right? But yeah, you're right. I mean, you have no Evan Mobley. Jared Allen picked the worst game to have his worst game and get in foul trouble and be fouled out because we basically, we're kind of shorthanded. They had to play Niang. Tristan got the run because he was playing great. And yeah, I mean, I just don't think they have confidence in Jones to throw him out there, to be honest with you. But I would have given him a couple minutes just to see, especially when they were struggling so bad.
Right.
But I wish Craig Porter Jr. would have got some run in this game, just because, again, Okoro was struggling. Merrill, I mean, 17 points, 6 points, or 17 minutes, 6 points, a couple rebounds, nothing crazy. You need somebody out there that's going to run that second unit, and there just wasn't anybody great to do that for this game. So, and we talked about this before. I'm not crazy about when they have Mitchell try to run point guard.
Yeah, they've
don't
been
like it.
Splitting. So they start the game with Garland and Mitchell together, and then they'll sit
Garland,
one or the
usually.
other.
Usually
and then,
Garland.
Yeah, and then they'll rotate them out so they're not on the floor together all the time. So one's running first unit basically, and one's running second unit.
Yeah,
I don't know if JB knows what he's doing sometimes. I don't know.
There's a lot of critics.
I like JB, but
I do too.
Makes you wonder sometimes.
It's not enough though, just to like the guy, right? Like, I don't know. There's a lot of critics out there of JB. We criticized him heavily for his playoff rotations, and some of his rotations early on in this year. And overall, I will say this: we'll see what happens here over the next 3-4 games. But the Cavs have been playing, better basketball here lately. They've been getting some wins, and let's see here in the last 10 games, the Cavs are now, they're 6-4. So they're not 5-5. They're not 4-6. They've been playing better basketball, but there have been some moments where it's like, man, if JB would just change his approach here a little bit, or his rotation, or man, that felt like a winnable game. You know what I mean? And then they kind of slip away. The Cavs are only 13-10 right now, Alex. So they're above 500, but man, it's it's not where I was hoping or pictured them to be at this point in the season. We're only about a quarter of the way, but man, it's kind of below expectations right now. It feels like.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, they're starting out slow compared to last season. They seem to be struggling to just build consistency, is what it is.
Yeah, and again, I mean, we don't have any kind of injury curse or anything like that. I feel like every team has to deal with injuries, but man, we do not have more than a few game stretches where we have everybody. It feels like we finally get some pieces back, and then Mobley's out, and then Levert's out, and then we get Levert back. Mobley's back, and hopefully it doesn't happen, but somebody else will be injured. You know what I mean? So it's
Hmm.
just the Cavs just have to deal with it and figure out how to win basketball games. Because at the end of the day, you can't control that, and this team has enough talent to where if Mobley misses 3 games, it shouldn't be the end of the world, right? Even if they're playing top teams like Boston, like they probably should have won this game tonight. They were in it until the last, half of the fourth quarter, basically. They should have won that Orlando game last night. The
Yeah.
talent's there. Just, on top of the injuries, you have players that are having off nights on top of it. And it's a double whammy. It's too much.
Hmm.
It's too
Why not?
much.
Why not play his brother, Isaiah Mobley?
Well, there you go. I to be honest with you, I'm glad you brought that up because when you talked about playing Jones a couple minutes ago, I'd rather see what Mobley can do. To be honest with you, I like Mobley. I think he's solid. He's just crafty and he could do a little bit of everything. He could shoot a little bit. He could play down low. He can grab rebounds, protect the rim. Yeah, I mean, I would give him some run over Jones. That's for sure.
What about Imani Bates?
Oh,
He's
well,
been he's been riding the bench too, not getting any minutes anywhere.
getting no minutes, but he's still lighting it up for the charge. I just saw again the other day he put up 25 points and man, just I feel like Cavs fans are clamoring for Bates just because everybody wants to see what he could do, and I feel like the Cavs are in this weird spot right now to where they're playing below expectations, and maybe just maybe JB is afraid to do something that drastic, to dip that far down into his bench to see if a Bates, a Mobley, an Isaiah Mobley, or somewhere like maybe they create a spark, but maybe they don't, and they lose more games. And like I wonder if he is on the hot seat a little bit, and he's afraid or doesn't want to go that far down. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean it could be. I mean, sure, it's a gamble,
It
but
is.
I don't think it hurts to plug him in a few minutes here and there.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And you got to figure out, well, whose minutes does he get, right?
Well, I mean, especially when we got these injuries going on, it seems
When
like
you
it's
have the injuries,
somebody every
it's
other game.
it's a perfect opportunity to plug in someone like a Bates. Bates has some size, right? Like height wise, he could play a little bit of small forward if needed. You know what I mean for a 5 minute stretch. Like, yeah, let him see what he could do. Maybe he provides a spark, like Porter Jr. has been. Um, I don't know. I don't know. They're playing better, but they're not playing great. They're not where I thought they would
Yeah,
be. I don't think
we're
there were a lot of
we're
Cavs
we're
fans thought they would
losing
be.
games that we should be winning.
Yes, yes. But on the flip side, we are starting to finally win some games that we should be winning and that maybe we shouldn't be winning. That's kind of weird to say, I know, but like I still think about that Denver Nuggets game. I think about that Philadelphia game. I think about how, not this Magic game that we're just talking about, but the last Magic game, we smoked them. You know what I mean? Like we're starting to win some games against quality teams as well, which gives me a little bit of confidence as a Cavs fan. And they're starting to have some mini win streaks. Like they were on a 3 game win streak until that Magic game. They had another win streak before that. They're starting to put some wins together, but then they have just injuries, or potentially if they lose again in Boston, now they're on a 3 game losing streak. Come by the end of this week. So there's just that consistency isn't there is the problem so far this year.
Do you think those good teams, those Philadelphia, those Denver Nugget teams, are they sleeping on us?
No, I don't think so. I think just the Cavs brought their A game those games, and the Nuggets game was we handled them. Okay, that 76ers game, remember, went in overtime and came down to the wire. I mean, any team could be any team on any given night, but we definitely got a good effort from the 76ers at least. And I chalk those up as quality wins. And the Cavs just they do that, but they can't seem to like do that consistently or figure out how to do it again. The next game and the next game and the next game. And no team's going to win every game right of the season. And there's still a long way to go. But man, it's just tough seeing them in the 7th spot right now, and teams like the Magic and the Pacers and Knicks, kind of all sitting above them. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what they do here.
It's still
And
early in the season.
it's still early in the season, but man, that trade deadline is going to come up here real soon, and there's just going to be a lot of chatter out there. A lot of chatter.
Never ends.
Never ends. Speaking of the Pacers, real quick, then we'll get back to Cavs. But did you watch any of the in-season tournament championship, whatever they call it? It was the Pacers and the Lakers.
I
don't know if you.
didn't watch it, but I saw like some highlights and I saw some stuff about LeBron. Sure.
Yeah, yeah. Isn't it crazy that the Lakers, won that?
Another feather in LeBron's cap.
I guess so. The Lakers did say they won't be hanging up a banner for that one, though, which is probably the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Probably the right thing to do. But I was pretty impressed to see the Pacers come out and representing the East, in that tournament. But man, yeah, just kind of crazy. I'm glad that thing's over. And but I don't think it's going to go away, Alex. I already heard they're going to be making tweaks to it next year. So Cavs will get another crack at it, I guess.
Good. They need to make tweaks to it. I mean, there's got to be a reason for the fans to even pay attention to it. And also, it was too short. I mean, they didn't have much opportunity to prove or to try to stay in it.
No, yeah, you're right. You're right. And the point.
I'm trying to remember what their in-season tournament record was. Didn't they only lose one game?
We went. I believe 2-1.
Yeah, we only lost one game, but we were.
But
that was it. We were out of it.
The point differential played a factor as well, which is kind of weird. But I get they have to do that because there could be 7 other teams that go 2-1 in that turn. You have to have a way to break do tiebreakers, right? Because these are one and done games. These aren't, it's not best of 3 or something like that. But yeah, that's done. I agree. Hopefully they make some tweaks and make it a little bit more exciting for the fans. Although I did see, surprisingly, a lot of positive comments from folks that kind of got into it once it got to the championship game, and they said, well, this kind of has a cool feel to it. And I wasn't really about it at the beginning, but as it went on, it got more interesting and exciting. And I don't know. I didn't watch it, so whatever. But
yeah,
it's not Cavs. I could care less. So, but yeah, kind of funny that LeBron and the Lakers end up winning that whole thing. So the last game that the Cavs won was against the Miami Heat down in South Beach.
Mm-hmm.
They finally got their Kevin Love game, and the Cavs played solid. They started off slow, only 17 points in the first quarter, but then they picked things up the rest of the game. They were actually down, I believe, as big as like 19 points at one point. And JB went to a lineup that was just not what you thought would have brought this team back. And for whatever reason, it worked. And then the starters kind of took over from there, and the Cavs end up winning this game by double digits, which is pretty impressive. I thought the Heat were going to run away with it once we got down big.
They got a lot of production from the bench in that game. That's what I remember the most about it.
Yes.
JB subbed in that lineup. I can't remember who it was, but it was like Merrill was out there, Okoro, Thompson,
Niang.
Craig Porter.
Yep.
Yeah, Niang. Yeah, this was
Niang had 13 points.
That Niang had. Yeah,
this was a great game.
Like great game. Yeah.
That's what I mean. So like great game here, piss poor game in Orlando.
Except it's like great game and then 4 or 5 piss poor games.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But yeah, I mean, Donovan Mitchell played great as always. 27 points, 13 rebounds. He was out there rebounding like a beast. Garland gives you 18 points, 6 rebounds. And yeah, Craig Porter Jr., this is actually the last time that Porter Jr. has played. I don't believe he played in the Orlando game, and he didn't play tonight. 23 minutes, gave you 8 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. So a solid overall effort from Miami. Was there anything else that kind of caught your eye on this? What about our old pal Kevin Love? Did you
Kevin Love.
Did you miss those outlet passes like I did?
I was loving him. I was enjoying
Man,
him, man. See him chuck that ball 2 hands all the way down the court to the guy under the hoop.
when you haven't seen it for a while, it's pretty impressive. And like he doesn't land on all of them right, but he just grabs that rebound. He just goes into that position like he's just ready to always throw it. And if it's not there, he doesn't, and he passes it off to the guard or whatever. But man, there was a couple times he just launched them. I'm like, oh, imagine him launching that right now to Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, Donovan Mitchell, Karis LeVert, and
Yep.
all. What's crazy was he was here when those guys were here.
And he was
So
playing good. He was playing good.
yeah, he was out of the rotation. Remember, he was out of the rotation.
That wasn't. I don't think that was his fault. That was JB being stupid. Just like he's being stupid lately with some of these. I don't know.
Well, Love had a nice game. He had 14 points, 12 rebounds. Took a charge on Okoro, his old buddy Okoro. Isaac was driving to the rim, and he's played long enough with Isaac to know what move he was going to do, and sure enough, Kevin Love got the call, got the charge,
That's Love's
and just
game.
just his game, man, taking charges, grabbing rebounds,
Yeah,
hitting some threes.
hitting threes. Yeah,
Man,
what he
I mean
does.
that'd be helpful right now,
And
and
he can keep doing that for a long time. He can probably stay in the NBA as long as he wants, as long as he's still. That's his game. I mean,
yeah, I mean
he can
coming off
do
the
that no matter
bench.
how old he is. Yeah,
Yeah, coming off the bench, giving you. I mean, he played 28 minutes in this game. I don't know if he plays that much every game. I felt like they played him probably a little bit longer, but 20, 25 minutes a night. Oh yeah, he could do that for the next 4 to 5 years probably if he really wanted to. And the most interesting thing that happened from this game, in my opinion, was the comments he made. Um, Alex, you want to go ahead and what did Kevin Love say?
he said that he could see himself coming back to Cleveland to retire.
Yeah, he said he's not done with Cleveland, and yeah, he'd be open to coming back and retiring here. What's your thoughts about that?
Yeah, why not? I think it would be great. Bring K Love back, bring LeBron back. We got TT. Let's reunite the team.
Think you can
Let's
get
win us
Kyrie?
another ship.
Can you
Kyrie.
get Kyrie, or are we gonna have to settle for Delhi?
Dude, I haven't heard anything about Kyrie. Is he even still in the NBA? What's up? What's that
Yeah,
dude up to?
he's. I think I haven't
How's he
heard
playing?
anything. I think he's playing well. I think the Mavericks are playing well, and I think a big part of that is because the Mavericks are third right now in the West at 14-8. So look, that's crazy too. They're 14-8. Um, that's third in the West. Well, the Cavs are now 13-10. So never mind. I thought they were a little bit closer. But yeah, no, I think Kyrie's been playing well, and there hasn't been any drama or anything like that. And I did
I,
see someone post online. He's like, we already got TT. Just he's like, I want to see LeBron, Love, and Kyrie all sign 1-day contracts here to end their careers. Um, maybe Love and LeBron, but Kyrie's got a little bit longer left in the tank yet.
yeah. Yeah, that would be pretty sweet, wouldn't
Yeah, it would be. It won't happen, but
it? Yeah, probably
it'll
not.
never happen. But I'd be open to Kevin Love coming back, especially if it was sooner than later. You know what I mean? Like, bring him back next year. I don't. 3 years from now, it's like, all right,
Like
you're in the last.
Varejao?
Yeah, nah, I don't want. I don't. No Verajao style. Like, I want him back while he's still productive, I guess. But I thought that was pretty cool and pretty. I don't know. I don't know if it's ballsy, but you know, it's not the norm to say something like that while you're playing for this team. You talk about another team that you're open to going to or going back to. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I just thought that, and say what you will about Kevin Love. I beat up on him for the first probably 3 years of this podcast, but he was always a class act. And really, his drama that he brought was very minimal compared to the LeBron drama that we had over the years, the Kyrie drama. You know what I mean? So, like, to those three, he's an angel. You know what I mean? As far as how he's acted while he's been with this organization. And you got to remember, too, he spoke very highly of Cleveland to Max Strus. And Strus had said, you're going to love it there. You're going to fit right in. It's a smart move. Like, you need to go there. Like, he still speaks very highly about Cleveland. How many athletes that are no longer here can you name, Alex, that still talk highly about Cleveland or even talk about Cleveland at all?
Channing, Fry, and Richard Jefferson and J.R. Smith.
There you go. And what's funny about Channing, I don't know if you saw this, but Channing said, can I at least get like a beer stand named after me in Cleveland? Thought that was pretty good.
That would be good.
That would be good.
So I went, after you said Kyrie Irving's playing well for Dallas, right? Mavericks?
Yeah, I believe he is at least. What's
I
he
just
doing
went
out
to
there?
go check their last game's box score, which was they beat the Lakers.
You're going to tell me he hasn't played in 14 games or something.
He didn't play. Yeah, he didn't play. But guess who played as guard in the starting lineup?
JJ Barea.
Dante Exum. And he
former
scored
Cavalier.
20. He dropped 26 points on the Lakers.
I swear to God, he was out of the league for a year. Came back last year, signed with some team I can't remember, and now you're telling me he's dropping 20 plus.
Yeah,
for Dallas out there, taking Kyrie's job from him, basically.
He went 7 for 9 from 3.
You were still upset when we got rid of him. I remember that.
He was a good player. He was good. he had that game for us that he went off.
I remember that game. He did go off. Alex was a Dante fan.
I'm still in search of some Kyrie Irving. How he's doing.
Is he injured?
That dude's never playing. He never plays.
Man.
He's either injured or fighting the man or
fighting the man.
Fighting the man.
Fighting the system.
Yeah. The machine. Down with the machine.
Yeah. I haven't heard anything though, in almost a year now. It says in walking boot. Kyrie in walking boot, no return timeline. So that tells you how well I watch other teams around the NBA. But
I don't know about him. It seems like ever since he left the Cavs, he's never really played a full season with anybody is what it feels like.
I'll say it.
He went to Boston and wasn't very accepted and didn't play very much there, and then went to New Jersey and the same thing happened.
I've said it before, I'll say it again. When it's all said and done and Kyrie's done playing basketball and the documentary comes out and the crazy life of Kyrie and all that stuff, at least the Cavs got the best version of Kyrie in his entire career. We had him for 7 years. He was just amazing those early years. I think for a lot of Cavs fans, he was their favorite player, even over LeBron. I think there was a lot of people that Kyrie was their number one player. He was mine for a long time on the Cavs. Even when LeBron was here, man, he just did some amazing things while you're here. And his career has been a circus ever since he's left the Cavs.
Yeah, it's just too bad they couldn't. He couldn't stick around and win a couple more rings and.
What could have been, man?
Along and
that'll be another documentary too. How LeBron only won one championship in Cleveland. That'll be a fun one. All sorts of fun stuff to look forward to, Alex.
Oh yeah.
So let's talk about upcoming games, upcoming schedule. So the Cavs have Boston again in Boston on Thursday. Man, that's just brutal. Go to Orlando, go to Boston, play back-to-back, and then you have Celtics again Thursday. They got the Hawks in Cleveland on Saturday. It'll be kind of a fun night. I like Saturday night games. I could stay up and watch them and not have to pay for it the next morning because I don't have to get up early for work or anything like that. Got the Rockets and then the Jazz and Pelicans. We get to see you seeing all the the articles coming out about Zion?
No.
They're saying he's fat.
Get out.
The Charles Barkley of this era. They're saying that he doesn't listen to the Pelicans' concerns. He doesn't listen to Griff's concerns about his diet and exercise. And I don't know, man. He's gonna have one of those Kyrie careers, just one of those weird careers. Just throws it all away, pisses it away. But yeah, he'll be coming to town on Thursday the 21st. So after this Celtics game Thursday, these are some winnable games. They need to bounce back and get some wins here over that stretch of games. They got Chicago after that; they're struggling, and then we'll get Dallas. Maybe we'll see Kyrie 27th of December. Maybe we'll see Kyrie at the end of the month, Alex.
I don't know if I like that Charles Barkley comparison at all.
Why not?
Because Charles Barkley was an all-star. He was on the dream team. He had many seasons where he was
This is true.
One of the best players in the league. Zion hasn't had that. He hasn't done that.
No, he hasn't.
And Barkley didn't start packing on weight until his twilight years.
Much later on. Yeah. No, Barkley was amazing in Philadelphia. Everybody remembers him from his Phoenix days, but go look up clips of him when he was playing for Philly. Man, he was fast. He was just explosive. He was a great player. And man, I'm still mad that Suns team didn't knock out MJ in the finals that one year. And I think it was Kevin Johnson, Dan Marley,
Thunder Dan,
Barkley. Man, I thought that was gonna be the year. But yeah, no, I'm just poking fun. But yeah,
who's that little point guard they had?
Tony Dumas, Kevin Johnson, former Cavalier.
Tony Dumas. That might have been who I was thinking.
Well, you should have been thinking of Kevin Johnson. He was a much better and well-known player than Tony Dumas.
But I mean, you had already said Kevin Johnson. I was trying to think of the other.
Did I? Okay. Maybe I don't know if Cedric Sabalas was out there yet. I don't know. I'll have to go back. I'll probably look up that roster now tonight before I go to bed. But yeah, the Cavs have some games coming up here, and Alex, kind of going back to what we kind of talked about in the beginning. Remember when I was asking you about Christmas? What would you want for Christmas this year? You were kind of talking about there's a service where you can kind of get some celebrities or sport figures to record a message for you for a fee, right?
Yeah.
And you want to talk about that, and I guess maybe read off some of the names, and if you had to pick one from the list that you're seeing there, who would you go with?
All right, yeah, this came from a Reddit post, but somebody posted about Cameo, which is a service. I've looked at the service before just to see who's on it, because there's some, there's like a lot of famous people that do it, celebrities, whatever. There was a couple of people from Breaking Bad that are on there, and you can have them. You pay whatever their fee is, and then they will record a message for you, either for you or for a person of your choice, like as a gift. So you can have them record either an audio message or a video or a whole video. And somebody went looking for Cavs players on Cameo to see who was there and what their price was. And they posted a little list here. So you can have Austin Carr record a personal video for $149.
Nice. Good old AC.
A little pricey, $149 for a video. A little pricey,
but man, he's Mr. Cavalier though. So I mean, you got to pay a bit more of a premium for Mr. Cavalier.
Isaac Okoro will record.
Hold on. Can you imagine AC singing you "Happy Birthday," Alex? Like, would that not be worth the $150?
It would be pretty amazing. Okay, we need to get him to do our
do the intro,
our podcast intro. Yeah,
yeah.
Austin Carr.
Oh my God.
He probably wouldn't be able to do that. I'm sure
he probably wouldn't be able to.
Probably under some legal.
Yeah, we're not the official. We're just
the official
two guys.
Yeah.
So,
two fans in their in their basements.
In their basements, yes. What do you got next?
Isaac Okoro will record one for $100, and he says he's here for whatever you need.
Oh wow!
So all right, that's cool. Moondog. We'll record one for $35.
Is that video only? Because I don't think like what would the audio like? Would
I
he just?
Does he bark? I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah,
you know what he
he
does?
doesn't talk, right?
What's the? Sometimes he'll do the to get the
Oh,
crowd going.
yeah.
He just
Sorry.
claps for
The
30
slow clap.
seconds.
Yeah.
Yep, the slow
Golf
clap.
clap.
Yep, yep. He just does the clap.
$35, Moondog? I don't
Now,
know.
if it was a video of Moondog for $35, that could be pretty interesting. Like, I don't know. Like, I wonder what he would do. Like, will he do some crazy dunk for us or something like that? Like, I don't know.
Hmm.
Who else?
Carlos Boozer.
The hell's he doing?
$200.
That prick. Why is he listed as? He's not really listed as a Cavs player, is he?
It's just somebody that posted a list of
Yeah.
ex Cavs players. So Carlos
Okay.
Boozer made the cut for $200. You get him to record you a video.
I'm sure there was
But
some
hey,
nice comments in that Reddit thread about Boozer being on that list,
yeah,
and the fact that
there were some good ones.
and the fact that so far he's charging the most out of anybody. Still after
Here,
that green.
I will read some comments here. I can't pronounce some of these usernames, so
Yeah, it's fine.
Can we get Carlos Boozer to say F Carlos Boozer over and over? Can we ask Carlos Boozer to promise he won't F over the Cavs and pinky swear?
There you go.
I lie to blind men.
Cavs fans on the internet never let me down. That's all I'll say.
Yeah,
they never let you down.
Comments.
They always come through. Is there anyone else on the list?
No, that was all that they had listed here.
So I'm guessing you would go with Mr. Cavalier. You would go with Austin Carr, I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, same here. That's pretty cool, though. I wonder if, like, gosh, I wonder how legit it is. Like, I don't know. Like, how do they verify who you are? Like, what's stopping me from going on there and creating a Sam Merrill account? Like, do they vet? Like, how do they vet that stuff? You know what I mean? It's got to be some way, but it's just kind of crazy. That,
how you gonna create a video as Sam Merrill though?
I don't know. You offer audio only. I don't know. AI. I don't know. And I also wonder. I wonder what what's the highest cost for a celebrity on there, and then who's just who's the cheapest, who's just dirt cheap. $20 gets you, something. And like, who is that celebrity? Not something to figure out now, but that's kind of interesting to see who would be at those two slots, the highest and the lowest.
I just did a search on there for Cavaliers. Torian Prince, $100.
Okay. Yeah, seems to be the standard, about $100.
Taco Fall, $200.
Oh wow.
The lovely Angel Gray, only $25.
Yeah.
Ron Harper, $105.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah, James Posey.
Can you see? I doubt it, but can you see like a rating or like I'm also curious.
Yeah, they have a rating and they have reviews.
Like, I wonder how many people actually like do this. Like,
and you can watch like a clip. So there's like sample clips of them that you can watch also.
Oh, okay, that's
so
cool.
You can kind of get like a feeling of what you'll receive.
Pretty cool.
Jamario Moon is your boy.
All right, that's a good one, man. Why aren't these people on that list? That Reddit person didn't do their homework apparently.
That's all that I'm recognizing here. Kaylee Griffin, host, sideline reporter.
Yep. No John Lucas.
Walt Clyde Frazier.
There you go. Former Cavalier.
Jaron Blossomgame.
I don't think he was he? Maybe.
I don't know.
Walt Frazier ended his NBA career with the Cavaliers. What's the name of the service again?
Cameo. Cameo.
Man, that just doesn't even sound like, I don't know. Cameo. I'm going to have to go look that up. See who else is on there. That's interesting.
Booby Gibson, $60.
Man, Booby.
It seems like any name I type in that they're on here so far. Let's try a Mark Price. Nope. Mark Price is a swing and a miss. What
Yeah.
about a Bill Lambier?
Oh boy, Alex is getting excited.
Nope, no Bill Lambier either.
I think Alex Kidd's just lucked out because if Bill Lambier was on there and charging $1,000, Alex Kidd's basically wouldn't have got Christmas gifts this year.
Oh yeah,
He's
yeah.
going with the Bill Lambier.
They wouldn't have a college fund.
No college fund. All right, Alex. I got nothing else. You got anything else?
You know what? I've been not really Cavs related, but basketball related. I've been watching. I was actually just finished watching a TV show on Apple Plus called Swagger, and it's inspired by Kevin Durant, but it's a pretty good basketball show. It kind of follows a young kid. He's a middle school basketball player that's already, kind of highly touted. He's like, already attracting scouts, and he's only in middle school. And it's kind of about him growing up and what his life's like and going to practice and going to games and dealing with all the attention already and everything that comes along with that, right? Posting on social media, of course, right? Because this is inspired by KD. But, his mom, his coach is joining travel teams and being recruited, and his teammates and, the pressures of having to go to championship games and get sponsorship. And it really covers all of that. And the first season is him in middle school, and the second season is him in high school, trying to get into a college. But it's a good show. It's on Apple Plus. Check it out.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that a little while back. Is it done after 2 seasons, or do you know if they're getting green light for a third?
I haven't heard. I did look that up, but I can't remember exactly what
KD did go to college, right? He went to college. I forget. Gosh, I could see the jersey, but I don't remember the team name, the college that he went to. But I think he went to college for a one and done.
Went to University of Texas at Austin.
There you go. They could do a third season about his first year in college, and then they end it with him getting drafted to the NBA or something like that.
They could. The kid that they got to play, I can't remember what his name is in the show, but he does a really good job. He's a good actor, and the storylines are really good. There's there's definitely some fake drama added to it, of course, to make it interesting. Like, he commits a crime, right? And his teammates are in on it, and they hope they don't get caught because it'll ruin their scholarships. And
was the crime when KD picked up the phone after Draymond Green called him after they lost the 2016 finals, and KD, basically jumped on the bandwagon? And no, okay, all right, just checking, because I might want to watch that. Like, that's cool, but. No, it sounds good, and I love anything basketball, like basketball movies, basketball shows. There's just not enough of them, right? In my opinion, there's not. There's the classics, right? But yeah, just lately there hasn't been a ton of them over the years. So anyone that pops up, always have interest in it, and I trust your judgment. You've never led me down the wrong way, so I definitely got to check that out. I don't have Apple TV or whatever, but there's other ways.
There's been some good ones recently. So we got the Swagger show I just finished watching, and before that I had watched that the Lakers show.
Showtime?
Yeah, Showtime. That was really good. And we had the White Men Can't Jump remake.
Yeah. So see, you watched all that this year alone. So you've had a good fix of and then basketball there was shows and movies.
The Adam Sandler movie that came out recently with Cruise Missile.
Yeah. That was good.
That was good too.
Gosh, I forget the name of that now. But yeah, that was pretty good too. And we talked about that on the pod, I think, a while back earlier in the year, or maybe it was even late last year at this point. Yeah. So that's a good call out. But yeah, that's all I got to. Let's go ahead and wrap up this episode of the Cavs Pick and Roll podcast. I want to thank you, Cavs fans, as always, for tuning in and listening. And Alex, you know what to do. Let them know they can follow us and connect with us.
Follow us on Twitter at Cavs Pick and Roll. Shoot us an email, cavspickandroll@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr. Watch us on YouTube. Wherever you're listening, click like, subscribe, leave us a rating or a review. We'd appreciate it.
All right, Cavs fans, there it is. We will talk to you again soon.
Peace out, Cavs fans.